I'm done with this marriage, she said, like it meant nothing. No tears. No hesitation. And me? I just smiled. I still remember the exact moment my world cracked. Not loudly. Not violently. But quietly, like something inside me just gave up. She stood across the living room. Arms crossed. Eyes cold. No emotion. I'm done with this marriage. Just like that. No hesitation. No tears. No guilt. 8 years, reduced to one sentence. For a moment, I thought I misheard her. Don? I asked, my voice calmer than I expected. Yes, she said. I can't do this anymore. No explanation. No attempt to fix anything. Just, done. The strange thing? I didn't feel anger. I didn't shout. I didn't beg. I didn't even ask why. I just smiled. A small, quiet smile. And that's when everything changed. She frowned. What's so funny? Nothing, I said softly. I just didn't expect it to be this easy. Her expression shifted, confusion, then irritation. Easy, she snapped. You think this is easy? No, I replied. I think you made your decision a long time ago. Silence filled the room. And for the first time, she looked slightly uncomfortable. Because the truth was, I already knew. It started 3 months earlier. Small things. Late night texting. Smiling at her phone. Sudden work meetings that never existed before. At first, I ignored it. We all overthink sometimes, right? But then, came the distance. She stopped asking about my day. Stopped sitting next to me. Stopped caring. It was like living with a stranger who wore my wife's face. One night, she fell asleep with her phone in her hand. I wasn't proud of what I did next. But I needed to know. And there it was. Messages. Dozens of them. From a man named Arsalan Redheart. My chest tightened as I opened the chat. I miss you already. Today was perfect. I wish I could wake up next to you every day. And then, her replies. I feel alive with you. He doesn't understand me. I'm stuck, but not for long. I didn't cry. I didn't throw the phone. I just sat there. Staring at the screen. Feeling nothing. That night, something inside me died. Not love. Not exactly. But hope. After that, I stopped trying. I stopped asking questions. Stopped initiating conversations. Stopped being the husband she ignored. Instead, I started watching. Learning. Preparing. And now here she was. Standing in front of me. Finally saying the words she'd been building toward for months. I'm done. Okay, I said. That one word hit her harder than anything else I could have said. Her eyebrows tightened. Okay? Yes. You're not even going to fight for this? I looked at her, really looked at her. This woman I once would have done anything for. I already did, I said quietly. You just weren't here. She looked away. For a split second, guilt flickered across her face. But it disappeared just as quickly. Good, she said. Then let's not make this messy. Of course, I replied. You deserve a clean exit. That word. Exit. It hit her. I saw it. Because suddenly, she wasn't in control anymore. Wait, she said. That's it? You're just letting me go? I shrugged slightly. You already left. Silence. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Different. For the first time, She looked unsure. Is there someone else? She asked suddenly. I almost laughed. The irony. No, I said. There doesn't need to be. But I didn't tell her everything. I didn't tell her that I already contacted a lawyer. That I already separated my finances. That I already knew about Arsalan. And most importantly, I didn't tell her that I was done long before she said it. She picked up her bag. I'll stay at Sarah's place for a few days. Take your time, I replied. She walked toward the door. Then stopped. Like she expected me to say something. To stop her. To beg. To break. But I didn't. So she left. And just like that, the house became silent. I stood there for a long time. Not moving. Not thinking. Just standing. Then I sat down. Exhaled slowly. And whispered to myself. It's finally over. But deep down, I knew something she didn't. This wasn't the end. It was the beginning of the moment she would realize what she lost. The first night alone felt strange. Not painful. Not lonely. Just quiet. I expected it to hurt more. 8 years of marriage, and yet, the silence didn't crush me. It relieved me. No tension. No pretending. No waiting for someone who was already gone. I woke up the next morning before my alarm. For the first time in months, I slept peacefully. And that's when I realized something uncomfortable. I hadn't been happy for a long time. Not because of the betrayal, but because I kept holding on to someone who had already let go. I made coffee. Sat by the window. And instead of checking my phone, I just sat there. Breathing. Thinking. Then it buzzed. Her name. Did you sleep okay? I stared at the message for a few seconds. Then I replied. Yes. Nothing more. 3 dots appeared instantly. Then disappeared. Then appeared again. Finally. That's good. That was it. But something had changed. For months, she had been distant. Cold. Detached. Unreachable. Now. She was the one waiting. And I wasn't chasing anymore. That shift. It bothered her. More than she expected. Over the next few days, she texted more. Small things. Random things. Unnecessary things. Did you eat? Don't forget your meeting. You should fix the kitchen light. Things she hadn't cared about in months. I replied. Short. Polite. Distant. And slowly. I felt her losing control. Because she expected me to break. To beg her to come back. To fight for her. But I didn't. And that's when the cracks started showing. 1 week later. She came back home. Not to stay. Just to pick up some things. I heard the door open. Her footsteps. Slow. Careful. Almost hesitant. I stayed in the living room. Didn't rush. Didn't react. She walked in. And froze. Because I looked different. Not physically. But in a way she couldn't explain. Calm. Grounded. Unaffected. You look okay, she said. I nodded. I am. That answer hit harder than any accusation. She looked around the house. Everything was clean. Organized. Peaceful. No chaos. No sadness. No sign that her absence had broken anything. You cleaned? She asked. Yes. Another pause. I thought you'd be worse, she said carefully. I almost smiled again. Why? She didn't answer. Because the truth was obvious. She expected to matter more. She walked into the bedroom to pack. I stayed where I was. Minutes passed. Then. Her voice. Can you come here for a second? I walked in. She was holding a photo. Our wedding day. You didn't take this down, she said. I looked at it. Two people smiling. Two people who believed in forever. You can take it if you want, I said. She blinked. Don't you care? I met her eyes. I cared enough when it mattered. That sentence. It hit deep. I saw it in her face. The regret. The realization. But it was too late. She looked away quickly. Arsalan thinks we should make things official soon. There it was. The name. Out loud. For a moment. Silence filled the room again. But not the same silence as before. This one was heavier. Awkward. Real. I hope that works out for you, I said calmly. She stared at me. Searching. Waiting. For anger. Jealousy. Pain. But I gave her none of it. And that's when something inside her shifted. You're really okay with this? She asked. I took a breath. No, I said honestly. I just accept it. That answer confused her even more. Because acceptance is something people don't expect? It removes their power. She packed the rest of her things in silence. Before leaving, she stood at the door again. Same pause. Same expectation. But this time, there was something else in her eyes. Doubt. Do you ever think about us? She asked softly. I didn't answer immediately. Then I said, not anymore. That was the moment it broke her. Not completely. Not visibly. But internally. I saw it. Because for the first time, she realized something terrifying. She wasn't the one moving on. I was. And she was the one being left behind. She left without another word. But that night, she texted. Again. Are you really over me? I looked at the message. For a long time. Then I typed. You left first. And this time. She didn't reply. But I knew. This was just the beginning of her regret. A month passed. Then two. Life moved on. Quietly. Steadily. I built a routine. Work. Gym. Silence. Peace. The house didn't feel empty anymore. It felt mine. No tension. No pretending. No waiting. And for the first time in years, I felt in control of my life. I stopped checking my phone at night. Stopped wondering where she was. Stopped caring. Because the truth was simple. When someone shows you they can live without you, you learn to do the same. Then one evening, my phone rang. Her name. I stared at it. For a few seconds. Then answered. Hello? Silence. Soft breathing. Then her voice. Can we talk? Something was different. No confidence. No sharp tone. Just weakness. About what? I asked calmly. A pause. Then. I made a mistake. Of course. It always comes. Just later than expected. I see, I said. Another silence. Can I come over? She asked. I thought about it. Not emotionally. Logically. Okay, I said. An hour later. She was standing at the same door she once walked out of. But this time, she didn't look the same. No confidence. No pride. Just broken. Her eyes were tired. Her voice softer. Can I come in? She asked. I stepped aside. She walked in slowly. Looking around. Like she didn't belong there anymore. Because she didn't. We sat down. Across from each other. Same place. Different energy. What happened? I asked. She hesitated. Then said it. He's not who I thought he was. I didn't react. He changed, she continued. He's different now. I almost smiled. No. He didn't change. The illusion ended. That happens, I said calmly. She looked at me. Eyes filling. I thought he cared about me. I stayed silent. Because now. She was finally feeling what I felt. He doesn't listen, she said. He doesn't respect me, he barely has time for me. The irony was painful. Because those were the exact things she did to me. I didn't realize what I had, she whispered. There it was. The truth. Too late. She looked up at me. Tears now falling freely. I miss us. I held her gaze. We don't exist anymore, I said quietly. That sentence shattered her. I was confused, she said quickly. I thought I wasn't happy. I thought I needed something else. And did you find it? I asked. Silence. That was her answer. She leaned forward slightly. Desperate now. Please, can we try again? There it was. The moment most people imagine. The apology. The regret. The second chance. But reality is different. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And for the first time, I felt nothing. No anger. No love. No pain. Just closure. You didn't just leave, I said calmly. You replaced me. She shook her head quickly. No. You gave someone else what belonged to us, I continued. Tears streamed down her face. I was lost, she whispered. And I was loyal, I replied. Silence. Heavy. Final. I would have never done that to you, I added. She broke completely. Crying now. Uncontrolled. I know, she whispered. That was the difference. I knew my value. And she realized it. After losing it. I'll do anything, she said desperately. I'll fix everything. I'll prove it to you. I shook my head slowly. It doesn't work like that. Her voice trembled. Why not? I took a deep breath. Because I already let you go. That was it. That was the final truth. You don't get two chances. After you destroy someone's trust. She covered her face. Crying harder. I didn't think you'd move on. I stood up. That was your mistake. She looked up at me. Broken. Small. Is this really the end? She asked. I paused for a moment. Then said. It ended the day you chose someone else. Silence filled the room one last time. And this time. There was nothing left to say. She stood up slowly. Walked to the door. Same door. Same place. But this time. She didn't expect me to stop her. Because now. She knew I wouldn't. She opened the door. Then whispered, "I'm sorry." I nodded once. And said the only thing that mattered. "I hope you learn from this." She left. And this time, it was truly over. I didn't follow. Didn't watch. Didn't think twice. I just closed the door. And walked back into my life. Stronger. Calmer. Free. Because sometimes, the best revenge is not revenge at all. It's moving on. Like they never mattered.